Welcome to Photo Finds. I am your host Kevin, and this week we're getting started in the Magic Kingdom, where, as you can see in the image, we've got Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny available for photographs in Town Square. That was true last week and will be true this next week leading up to Easter as well. Disney souvenir pennies over by the Tomorrowland Speedway still say Indy Speedway on them, which is a little bit of a remnant that hasn't been true for some time now. Let's take a closer look at the Seven Dwarfs Mine Coaster, now well under construction, and the mountain beginning to look a little bit more like a mountain in terms of its outline. We'll peek in through one side and see the mountain taking shape right through the loading zone area. Looking a little bit to the right from there, we can see some of the tracks curving around the side from there. And then back left again, you can see some pylons and footings. Presumably more of the track is going to come close to this view, which is being taken next to the Barnstormer. Or next to Dumbo, actually. And here we are on Dumbo, having a look over the wall and through these trees at some of that construction, some wide open space on the right. And then I wanted you to see some of the banking that takes place here on the track. And you can see that bank again from this side here. It just banks as it goes around the corner, which we'll see a lot more of on that ride, I think. This is the back side of the construction. And as you can tell, they've started to put rock work into place. And then around the side, closer to Be Our Guest, they've got some wood poking up over the wall now. And you can see from this reverse angle, that wood poking up over the wall has to do with this portion of the ride. They've got something of a trench, and the ride comes around sharp corners and does some heavy banking. I mean, look at the size of that bank right there. Now, these pylons are not in place yet, or they're not anchored into the ground yet, but this one is, and that's a pretty hefty bank. And I think we can say, since these cars are swinging freely, the vehicles are swinging, the banks will increase the amount of thrill that we're getting as we go around them. So even though the ride may not be nearly as big as Big Thunder and Mountain Railroad, there may be some thrill to it. This sign caught my eye, pointing to the Barnstormer and Dumbo from near the Mad Tea Party area. On Dumbo itself, may have been there for many months now. I don't come here often. These kind of step right up signs leading up into the play area, met by other signs talking about what the system is like. Play while you wait. Play while you wait. I don't remember that they had quite so many signs explaining what the system was like. Apparently they've had some questions from people not used to this, which is really more like a restaurant pager system than FastPass. This is the Peter Pan restroom area, which has been closed now. They've been closed off entirely, they say, for cast members only. The rumor once was that the restroom area will become home to an enhanced queue for Peter Pan. At Columbia Harbor House, they've got new menu boards in place, electronic menu boards. This came in on, I think it was Thursday of last week. And they flash through different cycle through different pictures. It looks very clear and exciting, actually. Very nice addition. Now on Space Mountain, they handed us this ride claim ticket, which wasn't that unusual. They've done this for a long time. But they were aggressive about handing it out to us, and so I took it and had a look at it outside. And it seems that they're making this one ticket do multiple pieces of duty. These are all of the attractions with the ride photo possible on it. So obviously they're doing some cost saving by using the same ticket, but it turns out what they're really trying to do is get you to purchase Attractions Plus, which is like a photo pass for these attraction photos. Now if you step inside that shop at the exit to Space Mountain, you'll see it for sale there. We saw it recently as well in this in Photo Finds at Everest, but here it is again in Space Mountain, $45, and that's the list of attractions where you can get your photo included when you pay that one single price of $45. Main Street Bakeries now being refurbished, no construction walls or anything. It's adding Starbucks to it, and it'll be many months still, summer before it's done. Now over the weekend, the Monorail Black re-debuted on the this was the Resort line. Actually, this is the Express line, excuse me. And this is the Iron Man 3 promo, of course. Now, they didn't paint it. These are stickers or a wrap put around the outside of Monorail Black. And as you can tell, they've got the kind of the color scheme of Iron Man with his helmet up at the front and then that burgundy color throughout. Now, the helmet makes it look like the whole monorail is Iron Man flying at you when you look at it from the front. Of course, Iron Man himself is flying next to the front, paying attention as well to the exhaust, something that we saw as well on the monorail when that was around a couple of years ago. Advertising Iron Man 3, and then the exhaust continues because actually there's another Iron Man in the back here. Now, both the front and the back have an Iron Man with shadows, as well as all of this grime. Both of them do much to increase the reality look of the of how it looks when you see the monorail up close. No official word on what people are calling this one. I've seen both Iron Rail and Iron Monorail, which sounds a little less catchy than Tronorail. The Grand Floridian Dvc under construction, as seen from the Grand Floridian side, getting a little bit further along. And then from the Wedding Chapel side, you will see that they've started construction on yet another side structure. There's a few of them going up here on the side with the steel reinforcements. At Epcot, this is the fire safety games. These wayfinder signs don't ring a bell with me, so I think they're at least new to me, probably been there for some months. And this definitely has been true for some months. The Segway Central is closed and, in fact, unused. It caught my eye simply because it seemed a bit of a shame that this much space was not being put to use. In the China Pavilion at the gift shop, I ran into these small flags of the Communist China flag, and I don't know if this is true of all the pavilions in World Showcase, but this country certainly has its flag for sale. Since it is flower and garden time, I had taken a tour of the playgrounds, but missed this particular rock feature in the one next to Mouse Gear, so I dutifully bring it to you here a week later. And right across the way from there at Mouse Gear, this was not there the last time I went and looked, face painting location set up next to Mouse Gear. Maybe they're only there in the regular times of day and not in the deep afternoon. Over back by the Fountain of Nations in Future World, you'll find these picnic tables set up. I don't know what they're there to do. Perhaps they're just there to give you additional places to sit down during Flower and Garden. Now we're here as well at Epcot to upgrade our tickets. We're annual pass holders, and the signs point us to the ticket exchange here in the blue-roofed Odyssey building, which is, of course, one time a restaurant. Now it's been converted for use for minor special events such as this one, where we get a little welcome sign and then a small museum we'll take a look at in a moment. First, we're going to have a look around in the main, what was once dining area, for some small props, some lights set up, and the cue poles, because this is where we are converting our annual passes to the RFID version of the annual passes. MyDisneyExperience.com is the website where we can link up accounts, for instance, between members of our family. And there are some signs explaining what's coming, get us excited about the magic bands as well. And then these are the stations where guest relations cast members will convert your annual pass into one of these, an RFID annual pass. These are hard plastic and they don't have dates on them. So presumably they'll be good for at least a couple of years. They do have something about parking dated to 2013 and 2014 in my case, even though my own pass expires in 2013. So probably I'll have to keep the same plastic card at least one more year. There was a lot of talk about My Magic Plus and My Disney Experience from the roaming cast members. We were, of course, struck by the props from Kitchen Cabaret and Journey into Imagination that were set up in the initial area where you do the conversion. There's the Kitchen Cabaret prop from a couple of different angles. And then back to the museum at the back of the pavilion, which is close to where the kitchen once was. You'll see some props such as this one from It's a Small World, and then the Jungle Cruise boats next to the Jungle Cruise. These were the remote control boats. That one's been removed, of course, as they all have, not too long ago actually. Some of the name tags throughout the years, an animatronic hand. This one's actually moving, although you can't see it, of course, in the picture, while discussing Figment and Dreamfinder. Next to as well a display from Kitchen Cabaret and Audio Animatronics, which blends into pretty easily the Pirates of the Caribbean. Little discussion of the Pirates and Mark Davis in the back there. And then Tom Morrow 2.0, as you see in the front here, a little animatronic robot that was once, not too long ago, in Innoventions. A little discussion of Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom and interactivity, the Dumbo pagers here, a little bit more about interactivity after that. And so you can really see the arc throughout this museum of moving from static props to animatronics to interactivity and digital age. leading to the ticket display, which of course culminates after these regular paper tickets with magic bands, the ultimate in interactivity, at least according to Disney's logic. Now we're here as well to have a look around World Showcase, and this is a view of the stage at Morocco. Let's take a closer look inside, and you see that it's been stripped bare. That's because the stage has moved a little bit out of the way on the other side of the planters you see here. In fact, these planters, that water wheel, the water features, these trees, all of this is rumored to be removed soon for a new restaurant waterside in Morocco, which assumes that the stage would go in, probably the shop behind it as well, because they moved that henna tattooing and some of the other shop things across the way to crowd into the fast food restaurant currently there. This is the current stage for Moroccan, the temporary one. Now, on Sunday, it was quite blustery. There was a rather large and unusually powerful thunderstorm ripping through the area, knocking over trees, and causing closure of all of these flower and garden food booths, though even after people started walking around again, the booths stayed closed for a little while until they finally caught up. There were some downed trees and potted plants, not really very much visible at Epcot, although at Tower of Terror, a tree twice the size of this one apparently blew over and landed in the queue. So it was a somewhat dangerous time to be outdoors. We're here to take in as well the Vinylmation Easter Egg Hunt, which is an egg experience as part of limited time magic, as you see here. The idea was you purchase this $5 map, it comes with stickers, and then go around the World Showcase. Everywhere but Mexico had a Vinylmation Easter egg, or an Easter egg shaped like a Vinylmation. You can see what they look like over here. And then you put your stickers on as you see all of them and return to this redemption location at the front, and then you get 2 Vinylmation keychains. So not a horrible deal for your $5. They sold out of these maps probably on Saturday because they were gone by Sunday. You can see the Vinylmation Easter egg here from Norway, from China, from Germany. This one has blown over in that wind we talked about a moment ago. In Italy, in the American Adventure Pavilion. And then while we're here at the American Adventure Pavilion, let's have a look at that construction wall in the back there. That is meant for something going on in the back they haven't announced. We've previously heard this may become new restrooms, and certainly the area needs new restroom facilities. Back to the Easter egg hunt. This is in Japan, in Morocco, in France Pavilion, in the UK. This one has blown over again, as just like that first one we saw. And then finally over at the Canada Pavilion. Now, all of these Vinylmation Easter eggs were visible from the main walkway, and they ended their run on Sunday, so they won't be here around this next week leading into Easter. They've got their eyes and their minds set on other limited time magic things associated with the Easter Bunny and the pre-parade float and so forth. That brings us to the end of another week. Thank you as always for your attention. We'll catch you next time.